Greetings, fellow planeswalkers. Today we will be speaking about the country of Benalia. Benalia, one of the most important and talked about regions in the Magic the Gathering universe, is in the plane of Dominaria. It is a country that is well known for its culture, modern civilization, and noble knights. Benalia is on the continent of Irona in Dominaria, and before it was known as Benalia, it used to be the Sheolton Empire. The Sheolton Empire was formed during the Ice Age, and it started out as a merchant empire. A man named Tobias Andrion was instrumental in converting Sheolton from being a merchant empire into a vast military power. Andrion commenced a campaign to wipe out the pirates from the Spice Isle Islands around Irona. The campaign went on for over 3 decades, and the Spice Isles were eventually conquered by the Sheolton Empire. Around 3500 AR, or Argivian reckoning, roughly 3,500 years after Mishra and Urza were born, 2 planeswalkers that I will be speaking in great detail about. Their story is epic and will take a lot of episodes to cover properly, but we'll get around to them eventually. But as I was saying, around 3,500 years after they were born, Tobias Andrion passed away, and the strength of the Sheolton Empire waned. A region called Epicure began to get stronger. Epicure was a mountain town which was conquered by the Sheolton Empire. For 40 years, the people of Epicure were oppressed and their culture was suppressed, as everyone had to model themselves after the Sheolton Empire and the ways and cultures of the Sheolton Empire. Epicure rebelled, and a wizard named Tabit of Almaz brought in help from the Serra Angels, supremely powerful angels that are a namesake in the Magic the Gathering universe. With the rebellion and the angels, the Sheolton Empire lost their grip on the mainland, and eventually the empire collapsed. Benalia came around from the courage and strength of one man, Thorsten von Ursus. Thorsten von Ursus was a knight from the region of Rena, and Rena was home to the Knights of Genghis. But an evil sorcerer came along and seized the throne of Rena. Von Ursus escaped and fled south, and there he found the ruined city of Benfosa, which was the capital of the former Sheolton Empire. From this spot, Von Ursus thought it would be the perfect spot to found a new empire, and Benalia was created. Through sheer brutality and willpower, Von Ursus brought about the strength of Benalia. Von Ursus chose the name Benalia because it meant aspiration. Von Ursus' intent with Benalia was to eventually conquer the world, but at the age of 72, he died. Von Ursus has a vision of what Benalia would become, and he called it the Lost Edict. He did not want anyone to succeed him as a sole leader of Benalia, but he commanded his 7 lieutenants to rule together with their 7 different clans, and gave each of them a different responsibility. Benalia continued to be a mighty military state. Benalia was greatly influenced by the Church of Serra, and this would be a much needed help in what was to come, the Phyrexian Invasion. Benalia was one of the first nations on Dominaria to be attacked by Phyrexia. There was a number of reasons why this was the case. One of them was, as I was saying, it was an incredibly strong military state, but the main reason was Phyrexia were looking to wipe out one of the clans called Capation. Clan Capation was prophesied to bring about the downfall of Phyrexia. I will go into this a lot more when I speak about Phyrexia and the invasion of Dominaria, but what I will tell you is that through Phyrexia's efforts, Benalia was completely and totally wiped out. The mighty civilization collapsed into an amalgamation of bickering states. Then, while all of this was going on, the temporal catastrophe happens and brings nothing but dust storms and more hardships. What was left of Benalia eventually collapsed into nothing more than tribes of people just trying to survive. The ruins of the once great and proud Benalia were taken over by a race called the Slivers, and they held it with an iron grip. After the mending, which is when the temporal catastrophe was fixed, the 7 clans or houses of Benalia came together and reformed the once great state of Benalia. The Compact of the 7 Pillars was formed. The city was rebuilt and dubbed New Benalia, with the Church of Sarah becoming the official religion of New Benalia. All the heroes that fell during the Phyrexian Invasion, the temporal catastrophe, and the mending were all honoured with statues and paintings. It took a long time and a lot of effort, but New Benalia restored the glory of its former namesake. While Benalia is proud and true, in recent times a group called the Cabal, a group that worship greed, profit and demons, have started to influence and corrupt New Benalia from the inside out. The Cabal are a death cult that have spread all across the plane of Dominaria. New Benalia has an ever-changing caste system. The highest caste system would eventually rotate and become the lowest depending on what year it was. The only exception to this was that the lowest caste system of women had to always submit to the highest caste system of men. The only caste that could be attained without money or bloodlines was that of the hero. The hero caste were the guardians of the realm and ways of Benalia, but they always had to remain neutral when it came to the future of Benalia. The culture of New Benalia is all about the 7 houses. If you're a citizen, you're loyal to one of the 7. If you're a soldier, you fight for one of the 7. It is all about the 7 houses. And same as the castes, the leadership of the Council of 7 changes depending on what year it is in the Benalian calendar. So that is the background history of the Shealtan Empire, Benalia and New Benalia. A very interesting civilization with lots of twists and turns and ups and downs. Benalia and its citizens had a huge part to play in the Magic the Gathering universe, such as Jared Capatian, who was the man prophesied to bring down Phyrexian. I will get into all these heroes and storylines in later episodes because there is so much to talk about, and these stories will get a lot more epic as time moves on. But that is Benalia. I hope you enjoyed, and as always, thanks for watching.